So we are talking about entrepreneurship today. How artificial intelligence is changing entrepreneurship. Many people think that the most important transformation is automation. Maybe doing things efficiently, replacing human beings. Human beings are really, really inefficient actually, and just to work with in not all tasks, many tasks apparently. And recent research conducted in China a few weeks ago, actually they have a one-person company in China study. One-person company means we do not really need a big team anymore. One person plus AI equal to a company, and so it is possible. OpenAI's founder, CEO rather, Sam Altman was saying in 2024, there is a debate like going on among all these technology people. And in 2024 he said, many people are betting, which will be the year that only one person plus artificial intelligence will lead to a unicorn, that is $1 billion company. That was in 2024. Actually, only last month, Anthropic company's CEO, Dario Amadai, he said that there is 80% probability that it will be this year, in 2026. So it was fantastic like 2 years back, and they even gave statistical probability, actually 80% probability that you'll see a company this year, only started by one company using AI and $1 billion company. So until now, we don't quite have that type of example, but there are many companies, not really many, few, started by two people, not by one. They want to see the example of one person, started by two people, and maybe three people, and already $1 billion company. There are a few of them. One example is a company based in the US, MedV. It is in the medical area, medical industry, and that was started by two people. And their revenue in 2025 was more than $400 million in 1 year. So after a few months after they started, $401 million exactly. So only two people, a founder and his brother, and it is kind of 200 million per person in a few months' time. So that is one example. There is another company, No Idea, KNOW, No Idea, that was also started by three people, and they are trying to solve this organizational problem. Organizations have to use AI, and there is a lot of things going on, but the decision makers have really no idea how that thing works, and they simplify the job of decision maker. And they have information, some of the information is reliable, some of them is unreliable, how to find the most reliable information and make a decision. That's what they do, helping all these companies, and they already developed a $1 billion company. So, I mean, there are already some examples, and in the future, very soon, one of you can start a company, and that will become a $1 billion company. That is possible, actually, becoming more and more possibly. So maybe you might think it is really expensive to start a company, AI company. I'll give you some statistics. So many of the companies that I talked about, how much they needed to start a company? $200, $300, something like that. Why do you need? Many of the AI tools are free, like ChatGPT and that type of thing, but free tools do not quite work well, and you have to subscribe to some of the services. Like maybe if you have to do marketing, you might need Midjourney or other types of tool. You have to write code, you have to do coding, and then you might need some type of specialized coding tools. And actually, that is the thing actually. That's why they are paying something like $200, $300, and a lot of people offer them money. Actually, okay, can we invest in our company? They go to find venture capital. But actually, venture capital are saying, can you please invest in your company? They said, no, we don't need any investment. Why do they need money actually? So, because AI tools are really, really cheap. Now, going back to the example of China, that I was talking in the US, and most of the examples we currently find about the small teams are either in China or in the US, not yet in Sri Lanka, but we have to wait a few years' time, and when you finish your, you graduate, and then that there will be a few of these companies. But in China, not as successful as in the US, but there are 16 million one-person companies in China. 16 million, and 3 million of them were started in the first half of last year, 2025. 3 million. And so not all of them are AI companies, 1% company, but 92% of one companies in China are heavily dependent on AI. They use AI. So you might think, okay, so they might need a lot of money to do their business. They did a study, only published 2 weeks ago, April 2026, a report. It says that average investment in per month in buying tokens, you buy tokens actually, and if you are not familiar with tokens, all these AI tools work based on tokens, and you have to pay depending on how many tokens you use. And how much they paid for token? It was $39 per month. That's how much they are investing in the average, $39 per month. And you might need, you might have to do coding. And no, 75% of them do not know anything about coding. They have no technical expertise. Why? There are a lot of these platforms, vibe coding platforms, like there is one company, Cursor, or another company, Lovable. You can just go to this platform and they allow you to do coding for free, and all you need to is speak in whatever language you want, Sinhalese or Tamil or Hindi or English, whatever you speak in a natural way, and they convert that into code, okay, computer code. And so you don't need, and basic thing they give for free again, and if you really want to do business, you might have to pay money. So, and coding skills, and if you think that, oh, I don't know coding and I cannot do it, no. Just go to these companies' platforms like Lovable, Cursor. There are many vibe coding they call. Vibe coding means just write or speak in natural language and it will be converted to coding. And all you need is idea, okay? What business you want to do, what industry you can transform, do good thing for the consumers, and that is important, not coding or technical skill. That is the second thing. Oh, then I was talking about human beings are really good at something, but most of the things they are really not as good. And so they say that which jobs are the safest one that AI cannot do? There are a few ones actually. And maybe one thing everyone is talking about that is safe AI cannot replace is janitor. So that is really important job. All of us need to do a lot of value addition in the university everywhere. So that job right now cannot be replaced. And maybe there will be outside people like garbage collector and all those things. It is difficult for AI to do. Pretty much most of the other jobs that requires writing, reading type of thing that many of us do, and maybe that can be done very easily by AI. And right now, actually, the NVIDIA company CEO was saying that, like in January, there are about 1.5 million different AI models. ChatGPT is one of them, of course, most popular. There are 1.5 million models doing different things. Maybe some of them are very specialized in finance, and others might be in telecommunications. Some of them do marketing. 1.5 million, that's what he was saying. And I'm just tracking, and some people estimate right now maybe there are 3 million models, and many of them are really good. And actually, every year, US companies last year invested $400 billion in these AI-related models, only US companies. And they say that by 2028, after 2 years, $3 trillion will be invested only in data center, where all these AI-related data need to be stored, and they need to be trained and all these things. So what I'm saying is, if the AI models are not good right now doing something, and if you complain and just wait for a few months, they will be really good, because there is a lot of investment going on. So all you need is AI plus one person, and this will be $1 billion company. That's what we are talking here. And so human beings are really good at doing something. Like actually in the university you need professors, because they will motivate you, and so of course they know a lot of things they know about. That is a really important thing. But in many cases, again going back to China, what they found is $1 invested in AI they have kind of ratio is $1 invested in AI is equivalent to $70 invested in human being. Or like what is the most difficult thing for entrepreneurship? And in the USA where I live, there are 30 million 1% companies. Why 1% companies? For many people, if you start a company, hiring one person, one additional person, is the most difficult task. You have to pay the salary, you have to pay a lot of other benefits. It is a lot of money for one person doing that. And that's why there are 1% companies. 30 million of them are in the US. So adding people is really difficult. And apparently, instead of adding $72 in human beings, just spend $1 in AI, and that will have the same level of same level of productivity. That's what the Chinese 1% company report found. That's what we are talking to you a little bit about that. And also one thing in university, and I don't know if you are taking economics class, you might have heard of the one of the Nobel Prize winning economist Ronald